Yeah, so now Aaron doesn't really want to go on a cruise.
They are fun. I think my hesitance with it was pre-COVID. It was like, oh yeah, what a great idea. It's basically a hotel on the water. You get to do everything. But it's still like buffets and everything. And then you do like post-COVID, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's gross.
There's people everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're all eating at the same buffet. And you sneezed in your hand and then you grab the ladle. And it's like you're more aware.
You should drink more. Then you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
And then you're the one doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
This is all my buffet now.
That's good. Are we on?
Huh?
We are on.
We just go into it.
That's how we're going to start.
This is how we start.
Yeah.
This is it. Well, while there's a lull, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So, NATCA, the Lafayette NATCA is going to be...
What is NATCA?
It is...
In case people don't know.
I know.
Ryan's like, I know. I do know.
I know what it is, but
Do you want me to tell you like what NATCA stands for?
Yeah.
Okay. National Air Traffic Controllers Association.
Okay, good.
I was making sure I hit
Association.
Like, wait.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Matt.
NATCA. Don't quiz me. Yikes.
Wait, aren't you the president of the local chapter?
Relax. Relax, like I said.
Well, if anybody wants to buy a shirt.
You know what? No, we're not selling shirts anymore. It's fine. I don't want to tell you about them. Anyway, our local union is going to raise money for the DRC, which is the Disaster Response Committee. They help local controllers, like so the storms that are coming through, if there was mass flooding and people...
Like in Texas or, yeah.
Right. The DRC just helps controllers and their families when there's any kind of hazardous weather issues. So when we lost a lot of electricity during the snowstorms and stuff, a lot of people got generators. If there's flooding or anything, we help each other out. Like Jake went to go help cut down trees after some storms.
Way to go, Jake.
Right?
Way to go.
He is pumped about that. He's like, I've got a chainsaw. I'm like, yes, you do. And all 10 fingers. So
yeah, glad he didn't chop anything off.
Right.
Does he have a shirt?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to do a fundraiser. So we're going to be selling shirts. We're going to be selling on custom ink, some UV sun protecting shirts. It's going to be like a Carolina blue.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be really pretty. And then 2 regular t-shirts. The store is going to open the end of this month and it'll probably be open for all the month of August.
How do we buy these? We go online?
We go online, but I'll send you the link and you can post it.
Do y'all have a rule against chewing gum while on mic?
I mean, we encourage not to do it, but there's no rule about it.
Have y'all ever heard somebody like, yeah, just repeat what I'm saying?
Well, yes, I have heard people sound like they're eating.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hold on.
Yeah. They sound like they're eating something.
I will say we
now it's not all here. It's
sure
some
everywhere.
down. Yeah,
this is a great
some
segue
in other
into
places.
Communication.
Yeah, it is. That is good job. Way to keep us back on
Thank
track.
you. I'm trying.
Yeah, so people do eat on position. So it's one of those things.
You've done it.
I've done it, but I've also like taken a bite of pizza. Like someone brought it. Like one of the pilots had brought us pizza. Took a bite. Someone called me. And I spit it out.
Yes.
Oh.
Because it was, I think it was crust. So like it was going to take me a minute to like chew it up and everything.
Be all crunchy.
No.
Right. And the last thing you would do is like, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the academy or when you practice with people, sometimes the remote pilot operators will have like candy or gum in their mouth. And you can
you're clear for takeoff.
You can hear it in their teeth. And it's very distracting. Again, our whole job is just like, audio. Noises are very distracting. So that's why if you have like something like music in the background, we can hear that kind of stuff. If you have the door open and you're doing your pre-flight and you call for like your clearance, like we can hear that stuff.
You can hear the instructors yelling at the students.
We can. And it's just going to like, you kind of like look past and you just kind of got to keep moving. But, again, since some of our job that we can't physically see you, we're big on hearing, and again, the boom is in your ear. So that's also like not the boom, but like the bippy, I guess some people call it.
The bippy?
Well, there's other words for it too, but we're going to call it that.
Okay.
But there's like some people who wear like a really teeny tiny one, and I feel like after a while, like, you know, because you got to clean those too.
Yeah.
And also,
Wait, is it yours? I mean,
Yes.
yeah. So you're not sharing those
oh
things.
God, no.
Yeah.
No,
that's-
what? Gross.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Because I haven't been working traffic. Some people have like lost like the booms that you actually speak into.
Yeah.
So I've given, or people get food in them, which is also very gross. Yeah.
Gross.
Because you forget, you know, you talk about this mic being right here, but you forget it's like this little like thin pipe, and it's just right there all the time. And sometimes when controllers are new, they're like trying to figure out like where to put it in their around their mouth, and they'll put it really close to their mouth, they'll put it in their mouth on
Just like
accident.
chewing on it.
Yeah. Some people put it too low, and you can kind of like, you'll notice like, why do you sound so far away? They may not have a boom that day. They might have lost it.
Oh, because yeah, sometimes I've heard where it does sound like the controller is far away, and then they must fix something because it'll
Right.
sound more
correct.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So when you don't have a boom, what do you have?
it's just this metal piece.
Oh, it doesn't come.
No. So I've like given my boom to another controller. So
Do you have like hand mics? Can you like
we have like phones that we can
CB radio thing or
Phones?
something?
Yeah.
Like old school.
Oh,
kind of like you plug it in, and it's got a little like button on it.
Yeah.
And you hold that button to talk. So
so if you don't have your boom or your head, whatever, headgear.
you might the cool kids that we are.
Yeah. If you don't have your headgear, then you use the
Use a
telephone thing.
Right. So we don't have enough headsets. So when headsets stop working, then someone downstairs will fix it. Like they'll like take it apart and figure out what's wrong with it, or try to fix it.
Oh, no going to buy a new one.
No going to buy a new one. So sometimes like other facilities like, oh yeah, we have a surplus. But, you know, if Hannah just left, she might turn in her headset. It may work. So
Yeah.
the surplus is her headset that kind of worked if she plugged it in right and like popped it real hard.
Oh, there's a special technique on some of them.
Sometimes
Gotta hold
it
your
is.
mouth right when you
Yeah, you
plug
just
it.
gotta-
Yeah, just
Is anybody fancy and like brings their own?
I don't.
could you buy your own?
Is that
Yes.
Why is that? Why was that a weird question?
It's not. So
Like Ryan has his own headset.
Yeah,
for
I got a headset
flying.
for when I go fly.
So if you like, I had one when I was in school, and so I kept it, and so I have my own headset gear, so I could bring that to work. But the FAA is supposed to provide you with one.
Okay. Most people don't buy one.
Correct.
Yeah.
The most common thing is like when you leave Lafayette, when you leave your first facility, you turn your headset back in, and then you go to your next facility and you get a new headset.
Okay.
But you know, and
quote
there's
unquote new.
yeah, quote unquote new.
Yeah, hopefully it's
Hopefully
cleaned
new.
and disinfected
But so
before
they
you.
you know, they throw away the earpiece.
Okay.
And there's plenty of earpieces. But it's the rest of the part, you know, like you gotta make sure that's working well,
Yeah.
which can cause miscommunication.
There you go.
Speaking of miscommunication.
Miscommunication.
Let's do it.
No, you know, like sometimes you'll hear some of the controllers, they sound like they're, like I said, far away. And I don't know if it's the headset or if it's the phone being put down
Right.
somewhere. But it's hard to hear. They sound like they're in a fishbowl.
Yeah, I think it would be best advised for you to tell them like how we
Yeah.
tell you, like, hey, listen, you're coming in like 2x4. You know, like it's just not that great. That way we know what to fix. Now, kind
Always
of like
ask, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's 2x4?
it's the
It's a piece of wood that's in a wall.
I
that
should
holds the wall.
have chose different numbers. I knew as soon as I said that he's gonna make some kind of like wood joke.
Please keep going, Ryan.
Holds a wall together. So 5x5 is what most people say. I really don't know where that comes from, though.
I think that's clarity and
Yeah.
Oh, you're just saying like
right. So normally, like,
you're
if
coming in 3x5 instead of 5x5.
right,
Yeah.
so the first like they mean something in that order. So you know, obviously, like, oh, my doing a radio check. Yes, you're coming in 5x5. Great. And I think it's clarity and like volume. So if it's like
Oh, there's an actual. Oh,
yeah. So if you're like, oh, you're 3x5, well, you're coming in loud, but you're not very clear.
Gotcha.
Now, don't we should all look that up. I don't know.
Yes,
for sure.
I don't know.
I feel very confident in that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Is
I've
just,
always heard it since I've been flying, like, 5x5 or 2x5 or whatever, but I don't know where it came from, what it means,
yeah.
the history.
Yeah. The lore.
Yeah.
In radio communication, especially in military context, 5x5 pronounced 5x5.
I like how they got a pronunciation of 5x5.
Not 5x5.
Oh,
I guess.
okay, 5
That
times
signifies a signal with perfect strength and clarity. Here's how it breaks down. First 5, signal strength. This indicates the strength of the received radio signal, rated on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the strongest. Second 5, signal clarity, readability. This refers to the clarity and intelligibility of the transmitted message, also rated on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the most understandable. So signal and clarity.
I mean, it's very close. It's very close.
Yeah, you know what it means.
But I know we've talked to you about, some of your airplanes and like the clarity of the radio.
Yeah.
And I think when there's miscommunication and even just like, let's say the radios are working perfect for both parties, then you start talking about miscommunication of like what we need you to do versus what you think you need to do or what you want to do and vice versa. Because sometimes you ask for something and we're like, I don't know what that means.
Students may not understand completely what a controller wants.
Sure.
And I mean, I tell the students, and I think we all do, is like, if you don't know the phraseology you're supposed to use, just tell them, I want to go to Opelousas or I want to circle around Arnaudville. I don't know if every controller knows where Arnaudville is.
Don't worry about that.
No, we know not every controller knows where Arnaudville is.
Yes, there's one controller specifically that doesn't know where Sunset is. So
Even though he's now engaged to one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I think someone's asked me to go to Sunset prior to like the Knicks thing, and I was like, do you want to follow the sunset? So you want to go west? Where do you?
So Nick's Sunset episode helped all the controllers know where Sunset
Yes.
is. That's awesome.
Yes. And he makes a point. He goes, yeah, they're going to Sunset, everybody. So if you're wondering where that is, and I'm like, thank you. If only we had maps.
Are you trying to follow the sunset?
I
It's
was
a
very
perfect
confused.
checkpoint because if you got Highway 49 and then it does that little curve and then
Sure.
it goes. Don't y'all have charts and
Yes,
maps?
we
in
do.
there?
And,
Okay.
and when I look at that chart and map, I know where you want to go.
Okay.
When you cold call me asking me to go to Sunset, I'm like,
Give me 30 minutes.
yeah, less time, but give me some time and you can go there.
And it's a good checkpoint for us to call y'all up because it's 15 miles from the airport, so that gives us
Plenty of time to
plenty
figure
of time to get radar contact and
Right.
all that stuff.
Do
For us to try
students typically know what they want and just don't know how to ask for it? Or do sometimes they don't even know what they want?
I think it's like they know what they want, but they don't know how to ask.
But you guys don't have phraseology. Like you don't have standardized
No.
phraseology. It's
Oh.
cowboy for them. I mean, they could just call
Wild,
like,
Wild West.
yeah, they can be like, hi controller, I want to go to
That's pretty
Sunset.
much.
They could do that. And we have standardized phraseology that we have to say
Yeah.
for legal purposes. So that's why I always kind of get confused. Like, why can't you tell me what you need?
Yeah.
Oh,
Use
you're
your
saying
words.
It should be easy.
In my opinion, but I'm also not flying.
Well, y'all are scary. That voice that comes
Thank
out
you.
the radio is scary. It's scary.
Thank you
So,
so much.
like-
We're trying to make y'all less scary here.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people just get nervous once they push the button. I mean, most students get nervous once they push the button.
Right.
Oh yeah,
'cause-
you've said that before. They'll say it perfectly to you while
Oh, yeah.
flying, and then they push the button.
That button like steals their voice.
My name's Jeff.
Yeah.
What? Why'd you? That's completely different than what we just talked about.
Your words doesn't say that at all. Don't say your name.
Yeah.
Hi, controller. I'm Dustin.
Yeah. I'm just, yeah.
Hi, Dustin. What do you want?
My mama's from Sunset and my dad.
Far too much information,
Yes.
Dustin.
And I would love to go there.
I'm gonna need you to get in your car then.
Okay. See you later.
That's another thing that like you give way too much information.
Sure.
Holding up the line.
Holding up the line. There's other people that need a call and like
Right.
want to get their clearance or whatever, want to rate a taxi or whatever.
Well, there's also so much information being given, and then do you remember
Yeah.
Because some people, like, they'll say everything and then they just go dark.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to read this back to you. You're like, wait, why are they telling us to go to Opelousas? You're like, that's what you just asked
Yes.
for. You
Yes.
just asked for that.
Yeah,
So
it
this
is.
is now, I'm giving you permission to go.
Where would that get mixed up? Hi, I'd like to go to Opelousas. Okay, go this way.
But if they're
Why
like-
am I going this way? Because you're going to Opelousas. That's why.
Because in their head, or whatever I told them is completely different than what the controller.
When you're parroting, you got to think, if you're just mimicking what I'm telling you to say, but you're not really paying attention to what you're saying. And so you're just camping. You're like, I'm Cessna 752, like to go to Opelousas at 3,500 to maneuver. And then I give you back your clearance, and it may be in a very different order, like Ryan was saying. I think you're supposed to be writing it down.
Yeah.
Normally.
Well, they got to repeat it back. So normally tell them.
Yeah, they have to write it. So
Yeah.
they write it down so they can repeat it back. Then repeating it back to me, it's just like, oh man,
this is not what
I don't
said.
speak Spanish. You're like, okay, I need you to just tell me what I said to you.
Yes.
Or
It's like, yeah. How?
Well, we get, as an instructor, you always get the person who you'll say, did you want to make that a full stop? And they'll look at me. Mainly, I guess, because, what do I, yes, let's make it a full stop. But like, also it could be, what do I say? Answer the question.
yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
It's a yes or no
There was
question.
one time
No
I was
trick.
flying with Antonio and he looked at me and something basic, like something like that, where it was a question and you just answer the question. How would you answer the question if we
like,
were
what are your
sitting here like this?
intentions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
State your intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't answer it as like, I don't know. I can't even think of okay or whatever. That's not how you answer the question.
Because if you were to
Blue
say
37?
Roger,
yeah, Blue 37. Like, what are you doing? Just say yes or no. Like, it's
Yeah.
not complicated.
and I get that we are these scary voices because, again, no one sees one another.
Yeah.
You see the person next to you. I can trust Ryan. This is my instructor. We know we can trust the controllers around us because they normally have trained us in some form or fashion. So when I ask you a question and I get met with, what? I'm just like, then I have to think about how else can I put this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is a simpler way for me to ask the question for me to get the answer?
It sounds like that's the simplest way to ask that question.
It
'Cause
is.
Then you got to go and say, are you landing and stopping and getting out? Are you done with your flying?
Right. And then again, you get met with like now where the scary voice is because there's a little bit of tone.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of attitude behind it because I'm trying to think of like, how else do I explain full stop? Do you plan on getting out of the plane? I also don't need you to be like Amelia Bedelia, and as soon as you land, get out of the plane immediately. I'm like, no, I need
running
you to
down the taxiway. I got out the plane.
I'm like, no, you got a taxi.
Plane still rolling.
Just jumped and rolled out. Like, no,
Yes.
I need you to like taxi with that plane to your hangar.
Yes.
Please stay with it.
So it's
That's crazy. Because then you're worried about that.
Right.
And aggravated because you got to figure out how to say it.
again, and that's a lot of. I feel like our job is, saying things the way we're supposed to say it, that we're taught to say it, and then being imaginative enough to be able to say it a different way. Like, can you be that creative to? Not only do I like put planes in different sequences and make sure everyone's safe and do my job, but if you don't understand the question I'm asking you, can I explain it a different way without like being an asshole?
Yeah.
Like, without saying, go around, I'll come back to you. Like,
Yeah.
How busy, like, if you're busy
Right.
and you don't have time to, like,
Yeah.
teach this kid.
Exactly. Because, and I don't know who's all in the cockpit with them. Because I'm assuming, like, if it's a student pilot, there's an instructor in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we unkey, we're like, man, we need to get that parent. We need to get the parent on the line. Because like we need the instructor to key up.
Yeah.
We need them to speak because clearly there's some kind of miscommunication where like they don't understand the question, and the instructor should have heard this question enough times to know. So there's like they need to talk, or we need somebody to talk to him again,
Yeah.
or to whoever the pilot is.
So that's a good point of, like, that's not a time for the instructor to make a joke.
Yes.
We're already tensing up a bit, so let's just get through
Right.
what we're doing.
No jokes.
No, there can be jokes.
Serious.
There can be jokes, but not whenever.
When the solo students are about to leave in the taxi and everything, and they let us know at clearance it's a solo student. We even teach our ground controllers to write that on the strip. So it's just known. Everyone who sees that strip, it is known this is a solo student. If they leave the Lafayette area and they go to like Lake Charles or anything, we can put that in the remarks section on the strip. So everyone is well aware that this person is by themselves. This is the first time they've done it by themselves. Let's all be kinder.
Yes, just be nice.
Be ready to explain
Patient.
this in a different way. It's not a hard thing to ask someone to be patient with a newer pilot or even like more experienced pilots. But you got to think like our workload has to be able to accommodate being able to explain one task 3 different ways.
Yeah.
There's only so many ways you can explain like, okay, like after this approach, what do you want to do? Like, what are your intentions?
Well, there's
yes, this is what I want. Y'all fight.
well, no, whenever you have but most controllers, I think, once they know there's a student solo or student pilot solo, and it may not be their first solo, it may be second, third, whatever, solo.
Right.
But I think most controllers change their tone just because of that.
Sure.
Once they hear student pilot, they're more patient and more. I
Right.
mean, it's a good thing.
No, it's absolutely a good thing. I think when we get into the doing multiple approaches and what needs to be done afterwards, that's when I think it starts to get confusing for when there's a instructor on board versus when there's training at our facility.
Yeah.
Because we have to know for climb out reasons, like how is this approach going to terminate, or your missed approach, the instructions we need to give to get you back in sequence with everybody else.
Push the mic that way.
This way?
That works.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Do you need these mics?
Well, that's a question. Now I see
Should
why
we-
y'all are confused when they ask you simple
Yeah,
questions.
see that? Like, you don't even know. That could be many answers to that question.
No, it's
Do I need them? Do I need them personally? No.
does the podcast need them?
Yes.
Move the mic away and let's have a 10-minute conversation and see how that goes.
Well, I
But she
feel like
won't
it's gonna
know
be
about
fine.
it
Yeah.
unless you send it to her.
What do you mean?
Because I watch other podcasts, and I don't know if maybe they have mics set up somewhere else, but some of them don't have. Like some of them do have the microphones. Do you watch The Toast? Because they're great.
Sounds like they're gossiping.
Okay, well it's not gossip.
It's not gossip.
She asked that question like, you don't watch The Toast?
Yeah,
don't watch
everybody watched the toast.
Okay, let's talk about The Toast.
What do they talk about on the toast?
This makes me so happy. So they do pop culture.
Oh, so it is gossip stuff.
It's not always gossip stuff, but what's nice is a lot of the guys at work will watch like Love Island or like The Housewives and stuff.
I mean, I don't understand how these are obnoxious, though.
But I think it's because like they have like their chairs and it's like off to the side, and so it's
So
just,
we need to put something here. So
Yeah.
you just
That's
anyway.
cool.
Back to miscommunication.
or we can talk about the toast.
We're supposed to be talking about
I know.
aviation
Well,
stuff.
maybe if
We
we
are.
talk about The Toast, they'll shout us out.
That would be great. Gosh, I love them so much. So that would be really exciting.
So The Toast.
I've,
Like the idea of like them like knowing who I am makes me a little.
So wait, you're saying... Oh, no.
oh no, she's gonna start crying.
I'm so excited. That's so dumb. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, so now we can't cut any of that stuff out about
no.
the toast.
So you're saying guys at work watch...
Oh, like
Love
Love
Island?
Island and like The Housewives and stuff. And so since The Toast, they watch those shows as well, and they do like a recap of them.
Oh, so you don't have to watch them.
I don't have to watch them,
You just
and I
watch
get-
The Toast.
I watch The Toast,
Ah.
and I get to hear about other pop culture things, and I can talk to the guys and be like, oh, yeah, like Love is Blind. Like, that's crazy that she said that she looked like Megan Fox, but she did it. And when I said that to one of the guys, he's like, oh my God, yeah. And like we engaged.
He got all excited.
Oh, so
Yeah.
excited. I was
Yeah.
like, this is wonderful. And I don't have to watch it. Cause like, there's some, like I watch reality TV,
Yeah.
but that's just like, those aren't my shows. And now with like Happy Margaret, like my reality TV is like Bluey. And
I love
Yes,
Bluey.
I've
Bluey's
seen lots
great.
of Bluey is good.
Bluey's good.
Bluey, I can relate to Bluey.
Maybe
Yeah.
Bluey will shout us out.
Yeah. That would be so cool if we were in an episode of Bluey. Yeah.
Like they're watching a podcast on TV. And
Yes,
like,
and it's us.
Bluey wants to become a pilot.
Wow.
We got ideas over here.
We do. I think it's over though.
Oh,
They stopped.
I think you're right.
Oh, they quit making it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
That's
like even
depressing.
like okay,
That
so
is
on the
so depressing.
yeah, and so like it's just like it's a funny like like they're in kind of the same area of life that I am, where like you're still in your career, but you're having kids, so like your
Yeah.
life is changing, and like you're now adapting to being a mom and doing your career and like trying to like still be like a wife, and you're like, oh, there's a lot.
It's rough.
It's rough, but, so it's fun, but. Back to you in aviation.
I mean, I thought that's what we're here for. We got
I know.
airplanes. And
Well, I thought we were being friends as well.
well,
so.
it's,
What was the situation that sparked all of this? Ryan, what did you do?
Yeah.
what did I do? I didn't do anything. I never.
All right, Alex.
Okay, so the correct version would be his student was doing multiple approaches at Lafayette, and we have a trainee in radar, and so she wanted to know like say intentions after this approach, and I think she was asking a bunch of questions, like if you wanted to go to Abbeville or you want to go to KDN, like just trying to get an idea of like what to do next, because she saw that she had more planes coming in to start setting up for a sequence. Because this trainee has a very nice sounding voice, she's very friendly, Ryan's like, oh man, it's a lot of questions.
He said that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Ryan.
And it's annoying, but we have to ask a lot of questions. If we don't,
I wasn't annoyed though. It was just me
it was-
trying to be.
but it was probably
silly.
in that tone,
Yep. Ryan has a very dry tone.
very dry tone, and where
Wait,
it's like,
so was she supposed to ask those questions?
yes.
Yeah, no, she was doing her job. She was doing what she's supposed
So
to be
it
doing.
wasn't extra. Any controller would
no.
it wasn't.
No.
exactly. And we talked
Another
about
problem I had was my student was not clearly stating. He would hit the mic and talk to them. Tell them we've already discussed what we're going to do.
right,
You tell the controller what we're going to do, just like I told you.
right.
So it was a frustration on me too, because
Sure.
the student wasn't saying what they should have been saying. Tell them exactly. We're gonna do the ILS 22 left. We're gonna go
Miss.
publish miss
Okay.
to micro and hold. Easy. It's easy, and like the student knows all this because this guy was getting ready. We were flying to get ready for his check ride, so he's already knows what everything means.
Yeah.
He was just nervous to talk to Tower and tell them stuff. And I actually, since we've talked about this, every student I've flown with since,
Ryan's choked him out since.
I said, yes, pretty much.
What student?
But I fussed at him. I fussed at him when we got back because I'm like, you just need to just talk to
Right.
him. And he flies out of Opelousas, and he hasn't been.
Opelousas has no tower.
Yes, Opelousas has no tower, so he could fly out of Opelousas, never talk to Lafayette, and just fly around airspace and never talk to any controller.
So that's like
Wait.
his safe space.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
he hasn't been coming here. And I told him the other day, like, you need to just get in your plane, come to Lafayette, fly around in Lafayette, and go back just to get comfortable.
just do pattern work and make
Yes.
us talk to you more, because I know we've talked about this a while ago, and I'm sure Jake has talked to you about this as well, but that's what he would do when he was in aviation school. Like he did not want to talk to controllers, and I get it. And that was like our first Air Lafayette. This first thing I stressed is like, I get you don't want to talk to us because it seems like we're like the fun police and we're going to like make it harder for you to do what you want to do, but you're so much safer talking to us. You're going to become I would say a better pilot.
well, that fear goes away.
Right.
For
You become
him,
more comfortable.
it's a fear factor thing. Like
Right.
he's scared to.
I mean, kind of like what we were talking about before Dustin got here. The podcast, the idea that this is on video, ugh, that I hate that. I hate that so much. If you want to do just like a podcast, like just our voices,
talking.
I would love that because
Yeah.
it's so much more comfortable. I'm so comfortable speaking to you.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to big crowds, but because all I do is talk for a living. I know what I want to say. I know how to stop, think, and then speak
Yeah.
without like kind of like because you'll hear people, they'll key up and like they'll thing on the mic, and you can hear it, and you're like, I can hear the wheels turning. I just need to hear the words.
Turn them.
Right.
5909.
Add some oil. But for that situation, she was asking a lot of questions, and I think the other issue is your student gave a lot of information to ground and clearance about like what they wanted to do, like all the approaches they wanted to do, but the strip is like this big, it's like this long and it's like that wide, so it's not a lot of room. So normally they'll write an approach or two, that's it, and then if there's more approaches to want to be done, it's up to the radar controller to ask those questions because they're the one who's actually dealing with the situation.
I've had a lot of issues where I call clearance, and you never, as a pilot who's doing training, you never know, should I give them all the approaches I'm going to be doing? Should I give them the first one? I mean, I know I have to give them something because they need to know kind of what we're going to do.
The first two are the most helpful.
Yeah.
Because after that, at least the reason I say first two is because after the first approach, we know what you want to do next. So we know the tower controller or the radar controller know what kind of missed approach to give you, unless you want to do like a published missed approach. But for the second one, we know we can start asking questions. That's a good indicator for who's ever training or even a certified controller to start asking questions of like what we need to prepare for next.
Yeah. Well, and then you get so you might tell clearance 1 or 2, 3, and then it gets down the line and then it gets to approach and they're like, what do you want to do? I just told everything to clearance.
I can see how that.
I got to repeat it all again.
And like we talked about, like that can be really frustrating, and that's something that we're trying to fix on our end, because if you give 2 approaches, when you get switched, clear for takeoff, you get switched to radar, they shouldn't be asking you what's your intentions. They should look at the strip and it should say, it says like ILS followed by the RNAV. Mm-hmm. So what are my intentions? My intentions are to do the ILS followed by the RNAV.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simplistic.
Yeah.
And, sometimes there's the caveat where like, oh, well, I want to do like the full procedure ILS. And that to me is something that needs to be said.
Yes, that needs to be stated. For me, is always, I'm not sure if y'all will allow us to do it because of traffic.
Sure.
And
but if we know on the ground, like your intentions are, you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because the full procedure does it. Like it takes you basically up the barrel of the gun of like everyone coming inbound to do this approach. So you're very much in the way. So to be able to execute that, we have to make sure there's no one like needing to land, or, we do like bring you out and we can make it work, but it's definitely a higher workload for the controllers. If we know that they want to do the full procedure, if you want to do the ILS, we can just bring you and we can just do,
fit you into the sequence of every other plane coming in.
Gotcha.
But if you want to do a full procedure, you're going down a one-way street basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what I was trying to say is, if you tell the radar controller after takeoff, like, oh yeah, we want to do the ILS full procedure, well, that just ruins the whole plan.
The whole day.
Yeah, my day is ruined. It's like asking for VFR on top. You just ruined my whole day.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just wait. Since there's the first step of getting a clearance,
you have to know the whole flight plan.
You at least you have an idea. So if you're like, oh, I want to go, because some people would just say like, I want to go west. A newer clearance ground controller might just put west on the strip and let that go. I like to think of it as like, I'm nosy. Well, where west do you want to go?
Well, yeah, like most certified controllers will ask you, okay, is that 270, and are you going to just maneuver out there, or you're going somewhere?
Yeah, because like west to you might be like a hard like 270, but to Ryan's like, well, I'm going to go between 270 to like 300, and I was like, well, yes, that is west, but now we're at like going towards
I would
like
say northwest.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Northwest.
But then also, like, do you have like a landing area? Is there like, are you staying within Lafayette's airspace? Or are you trying to go west to like California? Because if that's the case, then we need that information.
Have fun.
Yeah, probably.
Well, y'all have to do different things based on that. So
it's, and there's also, if you don't answer those questions in ground, you're going to get, peppered with questions. Like maybe local won't ask you a lot of questions. They'll just like give you a more our westerly heading for departure.
Local is tower for everybody.
Yeah, local is tower. But once you talk to radar or approach or departure, however you want to phrase it, they're going to ask you like, well, where are you going? Because now they have to make sure you stay clear of any other traffic.
Right.
But what does that look like? Are you going to go just west, like right outside, like over by the Cajun Dome and just kind of hang out? Or are you going to go to Jennings? Or are you are you going to go to California? Are you going to go to Texas? Like, where west are we heading? So at some point, people are going to start asking a lot of questions.
So, but that's just going to happen. Like, I want to go west. Sure, go west, but prepared to answer more.
Yeah, at some point, you're going to answer to like what you're doing. And it's not because we don't want you to go and like have fun and, kind of dick around out there. It's just we need to know if something were to happen, the last place like we need to look for you is like Lake Charles.
Yeah.
Like that, like he was going to go to Lake Charles and just kind of fly around. If you don't make it to Lake Charles, well then what happened? Where do we need to start looking? And so that's more of like what it is. It's just like we want to make sure that if something were to occur, we know how to find you.
Yeah.
Now some places like Acadiana, I could say west and they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right.
But we're not going to advertise that.
Well, all I'm saying is that some towers, they just, once you get out of their airspace is like 5 miles. So once you get out the 5 mile ring, they don't care where you go, So
it's almost like y'all care too much if...
Sometimes.
But their area, controlled area is bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if you're going west, you could just say, cool.
Yeah. See ya. Have fun.
But if you're trying to help them out, you want more information.
Right. And sometimes it feels weird because like, it feels like I'm pulling teeth. Like, why am I having to ask you so many times? Like, where are you going? Because there's a phenom that flies out of the private hangars and they would go to Texas, but because they didn't have any flotation devices in their airplane, they didn't want to go over the Gulf.
Oh, so they didn't follow IFR flight plan?
Yeah.
So they'd go VFR?
So they go VFR. And so every time they would tell that to me, I'm like, okay, well, I wouldn't send you over the Gulf. Just
Are they
FYI.
going to Houston?
You would have?
I would not.
Oh.
But also, our control area is up to 30 miles. So for 30 miles, I'm not going to send you south towards the Gulf to go westbound.
But someone else might.
And if he's going to Houston and he's going
Houston
IFR,
will put him over the Gulf because they'll make him do an arrival.
Right. Some airports have a standardized approach or departure procedures. So that's just like they're going to bring you south to go towards Houston to like set up for the runway.
It's just what happened.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But if he's VFR, they kind of like, okay, we'll work you in. Every time I'm like, okay, cool. You know, flotation devices. Neat. For both careers that are just communication based, I think it's odd that there could be too much information. Because, at some point, like, if you tell me everything, I've got all these people on board, I've got a dog, I've got this, I've got snacks and everything. You're like, okay, neat. But if something were to happen and Ryan's like, yeah, like we found like, 2 bodies and like a collar. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the dog.
Were there a lot of snacks?
Yeah, with a lot of snacks. That was this plane. So it's just like it feels weird to be like, oh, that's too much information for a career that's just informational based.
Yeah. Have we solved anything?
Don't joke on the radio.
That's not the solution.
Don't joke on the radio.
Yeah. You can have
No,
fun.
it was just bad timing.
Yeah.
We've solved that not only should pilots say they're student pilots, but controllers should say they're student controllers.
I mean, we thought about it.
Yes.
Honestly, on our side, like, go ahead and key up and say student controller.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I can tell this got to be a student controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure y'all can tell too, this got to be a student pilot.
We try to put in perspective for the controllers, like, listen, like, how you just let that trainee talk and mess up and figure out like what they need to be doing. That's what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
Now,
when everybody's doing it, it's not
right. And that's the problem. And then you also have like the people the trainers who get really protective, which is great. That's a very endearing quality. You're like, no, you be nice to Hannah. Like, she's learning. You're like, yeah. But also she keeps saying the wrong thing and I don't know what she wants me to do.
And they're trying not to die.
Right. But then you got to think of like, goes back to workload. You are only flying that one plane. The trainee controller is talking to like 7 different planes and trying to do it.
Yeah.
So, yes, she may fumble or he may fumble like what they're saying and, giving a pretty standardized like clearance or control instruction. But they're also talking to you. And when your trainee in that one airplane's like, I don't know how to say, yes, this will be a full stop. It's like, okay, someone else needs to speak up because now I'm getting frustrated.
Does anyone know how to say yes on this plane?
Affirmative. That's not a yes. So I was in ground training. So you've met Patrick. Patrick has been on here.
Yes.
He was my trainer through Tower. And I was in ground training and I was getting towards the end of my hour. So like they were putting me up for certification. Great. She's ready to go. I get a VFR call up.
It's a student pilot.
Student pilot.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we want to go north. Okay. On-course setting. What's your on-course setting? We have to ask that. Oh, we want to go. He must have said 290, but I don't know what I heard. And I wrote 390, which does not exist.
Yes. Stops at 360.
Stops at 360.
Oh, no.
So I wrote 390 very confidently, gave him his clearance, taxied him, passed that strip to Tower, to local. They cleared him for takeoff.
So they didn't double check that?
They should. You're right.
Okay.
They're right.
Somebody should have caught it.
They send it down the tube to radar because the radar's below us. Radar gets it. They talk to the pilot. Everyone goes on their day. Then next thing before
radar didn't even stop it?
They didn't catch it?
I don't know if they didn't catch it because eventually someone came up like, hey, who wrote this strip and why does it say 390? And I said, I did. And that's what the pilot said. And they're like, oh yeah. And then they pulled the tape. I was like, that's not what the pilot said. And Patrick was like, I'm so disappointed in you. I look like such a dummy because I didn't check, because normally the instructor will check your strip. And he's like, I was so confident that you were doing well. So I didn't.
He was sitting back and reclined back.
And he was like listening just to make sure I didn't mess up anything like phraseology wise. And I'm like, no, like I was very confident as well. He's like, you wrote 390 on this trip. I was like, but no one else caught it. Yeah. So let's talk about that. Yeah. You definitely get it off me. I was like, there's so many holes in this cheese. No one else caught the fact that this is 390. It went through how many CPCs? And I was like, so yeah, I might have messed up, but I'm training. Yeah, I'm dumb.
I'm assuming everybody survived this situation.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't a big deal because it was just like he said he wanted to go north. He wanted to go more northwest. And so they got him on course. But it's just like, if you're going to mess up, what a nice small mess up. Yeah. But also, whoopsies.
Okay. So when it comes to the slips.
Yes.
Are these paper slips?
Yes. They're paper strips.
So it's not digital. It's not like it just pops up on somebody's screen.
Some facilities have digital strips. We
not
don't.
Lafayette.
But y'all use the
paper.
Like
tin can and string.
Like when you go to the mail, the post office and y'all send the tubes and the
or like when you go to the bank or something, that's it. But ours goes down.
I just lower it with a string and a paper clip.
Yes.
You guys get it? It's also a love note. You're doing great down there. People have sent Skittles down.
Oh.
They're like, hey, can you
want some Skittles down there?
Yeah.
You hungry?
You hungry?
You hungry?
That's when you hear the person eating the Skittles on the radio.
Yes. Yeah. So if it's radar talking to y'all and they're eating, blame it on the Tower.
Tower sent them Skittles.
And you got to think for that as well, because you're rarely working alone. So normally, especially in radar, there's someone else listening to the radar controller working. They're called the radar assist. So if you're eating something.
Oh, they also are like, okay, could you stop? And it's funny because you don't notice you've got a wet mouth. That's gross. How are you eating potato chips and somehow it's slobbery? And you're like, ooh. No crunch.
No crunch. What happened? I ate that carrot and there was a crunch. You eat that carrot and it's spaghetti noodle.
Spaghetti noodle.
You're just it makes you I feel like I pick up more misophonia. I think that's the word. Or for this job, you're like, could you get all that spit out of your mouth? And it makes me self-conscious to it. So I'm like,
Is stuff added to the slip?
It can be. So when they're local, they're handwritten. Mm-hmm. if you leave like Lafayette's airspace and you go to like Lake Charles or New Orleans or Baton Rouge, we will put it into the National Airspace System.
So that's good.
The NAS.
Okay.
And so that one is more like printed on there. And if we have to update it, we have to like go into like a computer system and update it that way.
Gotcha.
If you go up there on a tour, it's like constantly coming out.
It would be such a crazy thing to do VFR instead of like filing an IFR flight plan. But if you're not IFR rated, I mean, I guess it is what it is. So I would say if you're going for a longer flight, there are different rules associated with VFR aircraft and IFR aircraft. So if you go missing IFR, like let's say you're going to California, you're going to leave Lafayette, you're going to stop in Lake Charles, then you're going to stop in Conroe, Texas, and whatever, and you don't make it to Conroe, Texas from Lake Charles. You stop sooner because, you know, you had to climb more and your fuel started getting lower, so you stop somewhere close. And your VFR, it's kind of like, well, we'll check with other facilities, but it is what it is.
Like, because you're not in contact.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to talk to those approaches, but it's not as mandated to look for you immediately.
You could go to Conroe and not talk to anybody. You could talk to Lafayette because you have to. But once you get outside of their airspace, you don't have to talk to anybody. You go around other people's other airports' airspace and go all the way to Conroe without ever talking to. And Conroe's got a tower, so you'd have to talk to them. But like Charles. In between, you could go around Lake Charles.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah. So nobody's looking for you. If you don't do flight follow, nobody's going to be looking for you.
Gotcha.
In theory, you can tell me all these things like you want to do VFR from Lafayette to California. And then once you get to our boundary, we normally tell you, okay, you can contact Lake Charles Approach. And you're like, no, we'd like to terminate. So that's no more flight following. So we would just terminate your information.
The crop dusters?
Oh, yeah, they could go without talking to anybody.
Yeah, they don't talk to us at all.
It doesn't sound like they talk to anybody at all.
No, they don't talk. Even if you go to Opelousas, you'll just
like, coming in.
Yeah, head on the same runway.
Yeah, we get phone calls about them all the time, though. There's a plane that's about to crash. I'm like, is it? I mean, probably not.
Is it a crop duster? They ain't gonna crash.
They're fine.
Well, you know, yesterday I was over at the sports complex and they had this guy with he's got the parachute thing.
Okay.
And he was coming down around the roundabouts, and I mean, I don't know, he was getting low.
Parachute thing,
like 10, 20 feet.
Jeez.
I don't know. Yeah, he was
like one of those backpack parachuters.
It's got a parachute on top and it's got a fan in the back, and he sits in a chair like this and he's flying the thing. Yeah.
That's so scary.
And he was coming down and he would like go around the roundabout and then
feels illegal.
I know. And then there's a pond over there by the sports complex, and he would come down not close to the water because there was a little bridge across the pond, so he would stay above the bridge. But still, it was.
That's too much time and money. You know what I mean? Give it up. Give me some.
Flight Tales, woo-woo.
If you've made it this far, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, we would just like to say thank you, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about today's episode or suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment or message us, and we'll do our best to answer. If you'd like to check out some fun aviation videos, check out our YouTube channel at Owens Flight Training. Or if you'd like to get more information on becoming a safe, knowledgeable, and confident pilot, just head over to our website, owensflighttraining.com.